Bum 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 ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum
Yeah, that was cool.
Boom
Boom, 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 boom. Is that it? Is that the one?
Maybe you can hum the theme song. Won't hold it against you if you get parts wrong. While the memory's not too strong, there's a piece of you from a time long gone. So while these fuzzy warm feelings remain, the question we ask is still the same. Is it a treasure or just plain lame? Is this still good?
Hello, and welcome back to Is This Still Good, a podcast that was actually about the friends we made along the way. I'm Sage.
I'm Gavin.
And Gavin, what do we actually do on this podcast?
We remove nostalgia goggles and revisit wonderful things from our childhood to see if they're still wonderful.
Very good. And is it just us doing that, the two of us?
Occasionally we bring along people to join in the conversation. Did we do that today?
Hi, I'm Campbell Winslow. Welcome to my podcast. It's all mine. And
Oh, shit.
here I've got two guests here that just introduced themselves.
He's established dominance.
Campbell, great to have you back, returning from the Treasure Planet episode. We have two more guests as well that may pop in unless they stop yowling outside of my window.
Are you sure that sentient crocodiles didn't just, roll up and...
We do have Kremlings outside. And that masterful segue is what we're talking about today. We are talking about Donkey Kong Country, 1994? How do I ever know when things are?
Yes. November. Clear autumn
what a
day.
night. Yeah.
Now, Campbell,
Yeah.
we didn't go too much into your history on the Treasure Planet episode because I was saving it for when we actually talk about video games, because that is the spot in my mind that you fill. I don't have a closer relationship with someone who likes video games more than you.
I do like video games.
Where did that start?
It's funny. I actually like video games probably 200 times more than I actually play them or have played them.
Explain.
Well, just now, like as an adult, it's harder to find time. That's all. But as a kid growing up, video games kind of raised me, in a weird way. Like, I was raised mostly by my mom, who, as a single mom, had to make, all the money for us, and would teach all the time. And she was always busy and not always away from home, but often she would get home late, and I was just at home, kind of just doing my own thing. And so to entertain myself, she got me a Super Nintendo. It was the very first console I ever had. And so that was a pretty big, deal for me, playing Super Mario World as a kid. Just really sucking, just being terrible at Super Mario World was a big part of my childhood. And then when
It's relatable.
Yeah, it's kids are just really bad at video games. It's funny that they're made for them,
I thought Super Mario World was so hard, and then I finally got a hold of a copy in college, and I beat it without dying.
Yeah, I did beat that
crazy.
game in college as well, and I was like, what was wrong with me?
See, I still haven't revisited it, so I just remember going over to people's houses and dying consistently, and that's my memory of Super Mario World.
I could not wrap that final fight with Bowser, where he's launching things out of his little hot air balloon device.
Yeah,
I just could not wrap my head around the idea of picking them up and throwing them in the air. I would watch people do it, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this, and they'd explain it to me, and I was like, nah, I don't understand.
Wait a minute, no, hold on a second. Mario, he jumps on people. You can't fool me.
Yeah.
That's not his shtick.
You can't punch people through fences or any other inventive ways in that game.
To be fair to your childhood selves, changing up the way the game is played that late, pretty cheap.
On the last level of a 400 level
some bad game design, I would say.
That's true. I don't think there's any other point in the game where you pick up a corpse and throw it at a reptile.
Oh man,
nonsense.
You're calling a mainline Mario game bad game design. I hope you're ready for your inbox.
So that's right. At hold for plane.
Oh no! That's
It's
good.
happening. This is how I get famous. Anyways, fine.
That's good. But I wanted to share too because this might be interesting. Um, Video games for me were not just an escape, but initially they started that way because when I moved like 12 times when I was a kid, and one of those times I moved from California to Nevada. And so it's not even just like a different school or a different town, but it's a whole other
Yeah.
state, right? And so I didn't know anybody or have really anything else to do. So as a moving gift, my mom got me a GameCube and an old Dreamcast that somebody didn't want. I got these consoles like 5 or 6 years after they came out. They weren't like the one of the time, you know?
Yeah. No, I was the same way. I like had a Game Boy Pocket, I think, when the
Mm,
Game Boy Color came out. And then every time a new PlayStation came out, I'd get the old generation.
nice. Yeah, and I think that's the right way to go. Like even nowadays, um, it just seems like a financially wise decision.
Yeah, yeah, single mom as well. And also moved a lot. And I remember giving up on like just being tired of making new friends and realizing I'd move
Mm,
again in like a year and being right.
yeah. Yeah, I
So
get
I,
that.
I
That's rough.
kind of I feel that.
What for me I want to say and then I want to ask you, I'm curious. For me when I moved, like video games were first an escape because I didn't really have friends or whatever. But then I started making friends and I started using that as a tool to make them. For me a huge one in I want to say like middle school was Super Smash Brothers Melee, and then also again
Hmm.
in college, when I got good at when I thought I got good at the game, you
Yeah.
know, like making lots of friends and enemies.
It's a good way to test and build friendships for sure. I
Mm.
like NFL Blitz for me was a really big one. That like, and I didn't get an N64 until probably college, but I do remember just like having friends' houses and like going over for like sleepovers and shit. And Super Smash Bros, NFL Blitz, Rush, the Rush series was big for us,
Okay.
you know, especially like Rush San Francisco or whatever it was,
Those are fun. I
Hometown Pride.
think those are
What is
underrated.
Rush?
You've never played Rush?
I don't think so. What kind of game is it?
Well, you're a fan of Burnout, right?
Yes.
It's not dissimilar from that. It's like it's definitely a precursor to that. It's like a earlier racing game that put an emphasis on the crashes, um, and was just kind of nuts.
Now, in Rush, do you play as a person in a car, or do you play as the
Oh,
car?
you're a
Because I'm pretty
car.
sure in
You
Paradise
you
you're just a
actually
car.
you play as the band Rush.
I
Oh, is that wait? Are we
would.
talking about a different game? I'm sorry.
Why not? Like Aerosmith and Kiss had like arcade games
Yeah, they
back in the
did.
day. Yeah, I was also one of the people who would have to go over to other friends' houses to play, or I would borrow Game Boys. Like very early games that I remember, Pokemon Red was probably the first game I ever really sunk my teeth into
Mm,
because my friend left for a month when I was 7 and just let me use his Game Boy, and
wow, that's
I
cool.
managed to beat that whole game probably 3 times in that time.
I remember. I'm sure we'll get into it later, but with like the save systems of early games, especially like on Game Boy. I remember playing Kirby's Dream Land on a friend's Game Boy while we were camping. I didn't know how to
Mm,
save, so I just left the game on and
Well, that doesn't
just
work.
ruined her battery. She was so mad, and rightfully so.
oh man,
Yeah, I remember taking
it's a
that
good
Game Boy
series.
out on the boat, and we were playing Super Mario 2, The Lost Coins or something.
Secret of
And
the
we ran out of
Ooze.
batteries, but my dad's, a man, so he managed to rig like a C battery, one of the larger ones, D,
Sure.
and
Oh, that's
some
cool.
wires and put something together, something that I might be able to do, but I wouldn't do it with confidence that I might ruin the
No, that
system.
sounds like a good way to break a Game Boy.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
I've done this. I've had to do this before, and you guys, this is a thing. This is a actual real life hack. Um, the all those batteries, with the different letters, they all have the same like voltage. There's just different like
Sizes
amounts of
and
juice basically.
yeah.
So like you can take AAA batteries, put them in a AA slot, and just stuff one of the ends with tinfoil, and it'll work just fine.
You heard it here, kids.
Yeah, yeah. Stick the and actually the fork in the outlet. That is how you can get really cool hairdos for free.
Yeah.
Basically.
If you're doing that in one hand and you're just holding a Game Boy in the other,
that
it will charge the
will
Game
charge
Boy.
the game. This is true.
You need to have rechargeable batteries.
Yeah.
Like it won't just all right, so you have a Super Nintendo and you've moved to Nevada and you're using it to make all sorts of friends. Is that
Well, that's
is that where
the
we're at?
GameCube is how I made friends and enemies with like Melee and with Sonic Adventure Battle 2, which is like a great title.
Well, what
for a
is that game? I've heard that title like once before, and I just don't
So,
understand
do you
what's
know
happening.
do you know Sonic Adventure?
No,
Oh, okay.
I know who Sonic is.
Yeah, so Sonic Adventure, well, you know Sonic, the original games on the Genesis, probably then.
I've played one or two of them briefly.
Yeah.
They weren't quite my thing, but I respect their place in history and weird internet history.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think they definitely are a part of the zeitgeist, whether or not you like it.
Sonic's around.
Oh yeah, yeah. But so just like all of the famous IPs, intellectual properties of the like 90s that transitioned into the 3D gaming world, Sonic had to do that too. And that was the game that Sonic really went from 2D to 3D, and that was on the Sega Dreamcast. It has not aged well. It was a pretty good game at the time, but
I think I remember Dreamcast being my least favorite controller ever.
Oh, disagree.
And
Interesting.
Hard disagree.
Interesting
And
take.
then I think the Xbox came out and basically ripped it off with their first version of the controllers. And I remember being really mad because Halo, I could tell, was going to be a very fun, enjoyable game. But like putting that first controller in my hand, I'm like, how the fuck are we going from like, I've been playing PlayStation for generations now of consoles, and you're going to hand me, you ripped off Sega Genesis? The fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, if you had played Sonic Adventure, you would know that with the Dreamcast controller, you had a tiny secondary game inside of it where you could walk your chows around and
I do remember
you could do
basically
upgrades with
Tamagotchi
those.
existing in that game now that I
God,
because I
that
read
was so cool.
I read more video game magazines than I actually played video games for a good portion of my life. I don't
Sure,
know
yeah.
how I got the subscription to Nintendo Power, especially just having a Game Boy. But
That's a good point.
read about a lot of games that I'd never play or be able to own.
Campbell, did you have Nintendo Power?
Oh, yes, are you kidding me? They were
Or other
fantastic.
ones?
They honestly,
Other ones?
Nintendo Power was a big part of my life as a kid because
That tracks.
yeah, well, honestly, it's true. And Nintendo Power and Game Informer, those were big. I was big on those.
Hard-hitting journalism.
Honestly, they were really funny writers. Like especially like a Game Informer particularly, and I also liked how there was fan art. So I don't know, it kind of made me feel like I was part of a whole like a bigger community before there was internet.
I joke, but I do
Yeah.
remember that feeling for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Before my parents got a computer that could handle non-text based internet in, I don't know, 96 or something, Internet Explorer kind of jumped on the scene in 95. And then suddenly you had answers to all of the questions you had about how to beat games or all the secrets in Pokemon or whether or not there was really a Pokemon office you had to go through all these things to go to. There's not. It turns out there's not. Although most of the internet will still tell you that there is.
It's kind of like being initiated into a fraternity. You have to like be pranked in order to like that's how you're a gamer. Oh, you know what? Something interesting that you guys might relate to. So you know how people sort of like form their identities in college often?
Sure.
I didn't realize till just now that I did that with video games because like I had some of these as a kid, but I started collecting these things in college. That's when I got an N64 and an NES and all the ones I didn't have growing
So
up.
when you say these things, you mean video games and video game consoles?
So
Yeah.
what kind of video game related paraphernalia might you hypothetically collect, Campbell?
Do you have a Power Glove? Is that what we're getting
Man,
to?
Are you guys gonna really get me started on that? Okay, well, I have every Game Boy that there ever was, every kind.
Do you have the VR one or whatever that was
That's
called?
not a Game Boy. That's a Virtual
That's a
Boy.
Virtual Boy.
That doesn't count.
Are you?
Doesn't
Come
have
on.
game at the name.
Come on.
I did want one, but they're
It's
kind
like
of
calling a
expensive.
Switch a Game Boy.
So I did want one, but they're expensive, and there's only 3 games, and 2 of them suck, and they're very good at giving
Yeah.
headaches and inducing
I
nausea and
think I've
vomiting.
put one on once, and I remember never feeling so uncomfortable in my life.
It changed
They
you.
don't even have super hot.
No, that was Virtual Boy 2.
But like, so do you have a power glove? Is that where I feel like that's the test.
I don't.
I'm trying to get
I
him to talk
don't.
about amiibos.
I do have amiibos. So yeah, I'm looking at my collection of every single Super Smash Brothers amiibo. That's to my left. Um, it's a problem.
So explain to me what an amiibo is.
Oh boy. It's a little figurine. I feel like I'm just getting dragged here, but it's
Trying
No,
not to.
this is loving, and I'm genuinely curious. I don't actually fully know,
okay. All right.
and I believe our audience might not either.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. This is true.
I
Okay.
barely know what an amiibo is,
So-
if you're being completely honest.
Okay, so what Nintendo did is they spent decades making all these wonderful games with these wonderful characters that have a cult following. And then they made these little plastic figurines of them to take advantage of that love and that care and that community. And they're fairly detailed, these little figurines, these little like toys basically that are not posable. They're just kind of like a little painted figure. And in
like mini statues.
yeah, like a little tiny statue that you can display. And they have these little NFC chips in the base where they have a little bit more functionality in the game. I think that the statue part of it is worth the value enough just because I'm a very tactile person as a 3D artist. That's like, I have a lot of appreciation for 3D art and 3D forms. So that's enough for me, but they also have this function where you can like tap them to your console, your game console, whether it's a Wii U or a new 3DS, or a Switch, and you can like interact with your game in different ways. So, like if you play Super Smash Brothers, you can take one of them and you can sort of bring them into the game and fight them in the game and train them to get better.
So
It's pretty cool.
they're basically the thing that you put in the Dreamcast controller.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I like this bit, and I really want to play with you in this space, but I'm way too close to the source material.
I
So
wasn't even doing a bit. Like, I was just realizing that if
I
this
mean,
was
I
something I
guess,
had
kind
rehearsed, I
of.
would know what that device is called.
They
Mm,
remind me of like Pokemon, but instead of like, but you have to like buy card packs, is what I'm kind of getting the vibe of. Is that
kind of, except it's not random.
right?
You know what it
That
is.
would be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, they could be cheaper and they'd be random, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you could get an amiibo out of a like a glass box at a mall that would come in a little
Oh,
tiny clear
God.
egg or something,
Dude,
but you wouldn't know
it's
which one you're getting.
already hard enough to get them. I don't know if you guys were like around for the amiibo craze when they first started coming out, but holy crap, they would
I mean, I
release.
was probably alive.
Well, you
I
are
probably
alive,
wasn't.
but that's true. I mean, define awake. You know what is conscious? Like,
With all your appendixes.
right,
That's
right,
how I'm
right.
defining it.
Yeah, the amiibo craze was in the era of an appendix full, Gavin.
Oh yeah, I gave up a lung for one of these suckers.
Oh wow,
It's
black market.
just
So
a lung.
man.
Mm-hmm. No, really though,
Uh,
it was really hard to get them. Like they would release 2 on the same day in exclusives in different stores, and each
This
store
is
would
like
only
you have
have
to
2 of
run
them.
from Walmart to GameStop.
No, you couldn't. It was impossible because on opening there was a line out the door of 10 people, and they only had 3 of them in
Mhm.
stock, and so you needed to like pay one of your friends to like or
To
buy.
go to the other store.
Yeah, that's the only way you could
You had to
actually
camp out with
collect them.
walkie-talkies because you couldn't, you had to camp out alone
Oh yeah.
on top of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ, was every Friday Black Friday for you?
Every third Friday, yeah.
So my final question on this: so if you're playing like Super Smash Bros,
Yeah,
right, and you
yeah.
have an amiibo for Mario,
Mhm.
like, do you get an alternate costume?
Oh, not in that game, but some games like if you
Okay.
bring like let me try to think of an example. But you could put like a Link or a Legend of Zelda amiibo on the console for Breath of the Wild, and then it'll like random items will fall from the sky. Some of them are costumes, some of them are just like food or something.
Hmm.
So it depends on the game. There's different functionality. They're very creative with how they implemented them. In Super Smash Brothers, it's specifically like that fighter like comes into the game as an advanced AI robot that you fight against.
So you
Hell
can
yeah.
just instant catch any of them the way it kind of feels like in the new game.
Kind of. I mean, you're just they're like opponents, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question jumping before Amiibo. So your mom buys you an SNES,
Mhm.
and are you then just alone in that? Did your parents ever play video games?
So this is a great. I see where you're leading me to this because I think you know the answer, and I like that. That's fun. My mom is a G. She's very cool. um, I, as a stupid little kid, like was bad at video games. Not only was I bad at video games, but like when I played Pokemon, I couldn't read well. I don't know what's going on, and that's 90% of that game is reading. You know.
You're not wrong.
So she would actually play the game a little bit and figure out how to do it, and then like help me. It was really super cool.
So your mom became like that stereotypical older brother who would beat the level for you?
Yeah, in a way, until I got better than her, and then she stopped playing because she didn't
Mhm.
like
She couldn't take that.
Sure, yeah.
yeah. She actually recently, you guys remember Pokemon Go a few years ago? She got really into that, and she's had this resurgence, a renaissance, if you will, in my mom of video games. And she started. I got to share this with you. This is great. She started playing this new Harry Potter game once the Pokemon one died down. And in the Harry Potter one, they actually have a class system, like in World of Warcraft. There's like a fighter.
Oh, like India?
Well,
Sorry.
no, a little different. But they have a class system where like, there's a fighter, there's a healer, there's a like a support. You get the idea. And then there's a tank, right? And so and it's multiplayer. It's an MMO in a way. Where she has to play online with randos or with people that she like coordinates with on Discord.
Mhm.
Which is crazy to me because now my mom's coming to me and she's complaining like, "Oh my god, these fucking plebs don't know how to like coordinate. They don't even know how to play the roles." And she sounds like some salty Overwatch player.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's absolutely surreal.
I
But
remember I moved in when I first moved down to LA, my roommate was deep into Pokemon Go and had like a Discord going with random people that they would meet up and hop in each other's cars and drive around doing raids, which is like very silly, but like I see the beauty in it, especially as someone who just moved to Los Angeles
Oh
and is
my
like, I don't know
God.
anybody. This town is too big. I don't know where anything is or where anything happens. And I'm watching my roommate who's inviting me to do this with him, and like, very kind. I could not hang. I was just like, I don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes, I think it's very special. It does take a certain kind of person to be like,
Yeah. No, and I
like
thought it was totally
cool with
lovely. And like,
strangers and stuff.
I remember going to like the Sprint store. I had to like get my phone repaired. And outside there was, I guess, a gym or something, and there was like a crowd of like 30 people. And my phone was like, I looked at it and had 2%. I was like, I would try and join on this, but like, I didn't charge my phone, and so I can't be social.
Oh yeah, you absolutely need a battery if you're gonna be a Pokemon master.
See, I'm a Pokemon chump,
Pokemon pleb.
Yeah, can't hang.
So do you think he's qualified to talk about Donkey Kong Country, or should we wait and get a real gamer?
I mean, how about we'll do the episode and then you can decide after.
And we'll just cut it all and make it a 25-minute episode. Love
All right, it ends. So if it ends here, you know that I couldn't hack it.
it. We'll show you on part 2 later.
Yeah.
Where does Donkey Kong fall in your memories?
I wish it had fallen earlier. I want to say at one point I had older sisters.
Are they okay?
Oh no!
Like,
Yeah,
what
I
is it?
love saying that because it's very simple. My mom married a guy and he had daughters, and then they got divorced, and now I don't have those relatives anymore. But there's this weird like 4-year period in my life where I had 2 older sisters. And they had a Super Nintendo, and they, I think, got me into this game a little bit. I might have played it barely at all, but when I really started playing it was after my dad sold my Super Nintendo, and I decided I was going to start collecting these things again to get them all back. I found it at a thrift store, and I found the game and the console for like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks, something like that. I was like, yes, let's do this.
Can you just for my understanding of time and place, what Nintendo system was the newest out when you bought? your second Super Nintendo?
Oh, the second Super Nintendo. Great question. Probably the Wii. If it wasn't, I think the Wii was just about to come out.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
sure what year that was. Probably 2000
The
something.
one for me or the one for you?
Is that
The one for
because the
me.
Wii is a plural?
No, this is okay for everybody listening who didn't get that. It's a very good joke, but you have to understand the terrible marketing name of the
The amount of
Wii.
times Campbell has said a sentence similar to that.
Okay, so this is a good joke. You just have to
Is it
understand
because
it.
of the Wii U and
Yes,
the
it's
Wii?
because of the Wii
Okay.
U. Yeah, so it's a bad good joke, but
I don't feel
That's why they
enriched.
keep
For
tuning in.
The last 30 seconds have been nothing but pain for me.
Oh yeah, no, it's not great. But I kind of blame Nintendo, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible name for a console. Most people thought it was an add-on.
That's definitely how I read it. I was like, you
Mm-mm.
get that second controller part and then like I'm assuming it takes you like Wii University is what I was understanding.
I always think they should have just put like a third I in and just left it at that.
We
Yeah.
we
And it
They
would
should
have
have called
avoided
it the
all this
Us.
confusion. The us.
It's actually We like the name. No, nobody. All right. Well, that's still Nintendo's fault. I've decided.
And did you beat this game?
I did. I didn't. That's right. That's funny. Not as a child, but I played it before the episode, and thanks to the Switch's. It's on the Switch, by the way, for those of you listening.
That's right. And if you have Nintendo Online, Switch Online, or whatever they call it, you too can play Donkey Kong Country. Play along with the podcast.
We'll probably do like one at a time. I think it'd be hard to. This is kind of a difficult game, I think.
No, this is
Also-
a riff tracks.
also,
We're gonna
if you-
do it along with their play
If
through.
if you mute that game,
Jump
you're
now.
missing so much of the magic because the score might be my favorite thing about it. In
It's
a
good.
game that I do enjoy quite a bit. But let's
Oh man,
back to where we were.
where were we? Something about
We're just talking about
game.
our childhood playing.
I think we were talking
playing
about
Donkey
Wii
Kong.
University.
We're
University.
talking about a lot of things. It's kind of the problem with this podcast.
Donkey Kong Country, you had just picked up in a pawn shop.
Yeah, and I got into like the ice stages, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was just so
That's pretty.
much
That's late
work.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. There's like 3 worlds after that I learned, but before the podcast, I hadn't beat it, and I was like, oh man, we're recording the podcast soon. But I was like, okay, I gotta crunch my video game homework to finish this game because I don't want to be the expert that they have, the quote unquote expert that they have on, and be the only person who hasn't beat it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did ask for your BA from Wii University, and I'm still waiting on those transcripts.
Honestly, the degree I did get is about as useful. So, oh boy, but yeah, no, I beat it last night. So,
Oh wow, down to the wire.
oh yeah. But I was surprised. I was using the Switch's cheat basically, where you can save the game at any time.
Mhm. Yeah,
I was able to beat it in like a
Yeah.
few hours.
I was familiar with that from like I don't know if either of you have gotten into emulators much, but like the Free State system, which I think they have in like MAME and like Super Nintendo emulators and all those, is interesting seeing that on a console. It felt so right and so wrong at the same time.
Well, if they're gonna do it, I mean, it's what it is. It's an emulator, basically.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so like I feel like that's the right way to do it. If you're gonna have that, have all the features. You know, like we're paying
Yeah.
$20 a year for this.
I'm in a pretty similar boat where I always played it at my friend's house. Donkey Kong Country is one of the first games I truly fell in love with, and I even remember going to try to buy an SNES to try to figure out if I was actually going to spend my money, the $100 it cost or whatever, with Donkey Kong.
Mhm.
And I went to a Fred Meyer's, the electronics section, and the 64 had just come out, and they were demoing Super Mario 64. And I was not having it. I was very
Wow.
upset. I was like, I would like to play Donkey Kong Country. What is this bullshit?
Can I
I did not care that there was a 3D game out.
can I talk for a second on that specifically? Like,
Can I talk for the second name of this podcast?
can I? Whoa! Oh, I like that. I might steal that. Um, it's like it's 60 seconds long, and it's just 60 people who get to talk for 1 second. It's really awful. Never mind.
It'll
I
be
take
hard
it
to
back.
schedule.
Yeah, I don't know. But about what you're saying with these the 3D consoles, it's amazing to me the jump in the quality of aesthetics from 1995 to 1996. It's crazy because I like a lot of those early 3D games. They don't look good. They did not hold up.
Except for, I would argue, Super Mario 64's got some stuff going for it still.
It does.
I've definitely feel that GoldenEye is hard to look at.
Oh yeah.
I love NFL Blitz, but like the first N64 port of that, the first PlayStation port of that, is a little hard to look at for some time. You know, they improved greatly over the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's crazy
Even
how
with the
quickly
same
the
console.
graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't just the hardware, but like the capabilities of the software. But that's what I wanted to talk about with the Super Nintendo. This was like the golden age of pixel art. People were doing amazing things with pixel art graphics. In that span of like 5 years, from like 91 to 96, 97-ish, maybe, if you want to include Kirby's Dream Land 3.
I watched a compilation of every game of the year. I don't know what their metric was, but some magazines' game of the year, and they just show a clip from every single one, from I don't know, from Pong to like Uncharted 4, and I mean, every year does look significantly better, but that period especially just had an insane jump, and then the 5 years afterwards, going from all right, we tried 3D to all right, we're pretty sure this is what 3D actually looks like. To all right, we got it. Here's the first Uncharted.
Right. Yeah.
And then you just incrementally make things look better from there.
Oh
It's
man.
wild.
Yeah, it's definitely been like developers have been grasping at better graphics every single time they do anything. So, do you guys want to talk a second about the graphics for this game?
I do have that kind of scheduled for later.
Okay.
I want to.
Yeah.
We're on a schedule. I have to AD this.
Okay, hold on.
And I'm not done talking about my experience with Donkey
Here, I'll set my timer.
Okay.
All right, there we go. I'm ready.
Good bit. So I too only made it to the ice world. Partially because I didn't have the game, but also, as I discovered in my last playthrough, that's the hardest part of the game. It got significantly easier after that. It's possible I was just better, because that is what happens in video games. But I also used the save state a lot, and I justify that, because so Donkey Kong has a weird save system where you can save in the middle of the worlds, and you have to get to a certain point. Otherwise, you just have to start back at the beginning, not counting the checkpoints.
Yeah,
and the truth is, you
Candy Kong's
Yeah.
sweet shop. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And the truth is, you can always go back to the beginning of the game and play the first few levels and, get 40 lives if you know what you're doing, if you're willing to spend 20 minutes each time before you try the world again. And the way I played the save system is, first off, just that, making certain, like, if I lost a life, I would just go back to my save spot. I would go back to the checkpoint immediately without having to boot up again, or without having to go back and do all those lives, because that shouldn't be a part of the game. That wouldn't be a part of the game today. That's not how games are made anymore. And the second thing was, whenever some bullshit thing happens that you just have to know how the level went, the first time I would let myself like reset 10 seconds, because it's not okay to go through a level and then something flies off of screen and you actually have to start jumping before it appears on screen.
Did you guys notice how? Yeah, I agree. By the way, I actually used it way more liberally than you, and I'm the gamer, for whatever.
You also had way more of a crunch. We beat this weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, this is true. Yeah, I wanted to finish it in a night, so I definitely was using it hardcore.
If I had to beat it before a podcast, I would cheat like shit.
Yeah. Oh, I cheated so much. But did you guys like how at the end, right before the exit, where you complete a level, every single time, without fail, something would come from fucking nowhere to try and get you?
Yeah. I don't know if that's that's a degree of difficulty that games were back then, or if that's just like artificial game lengthener, because these games aren't that long.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I think that's what they did. I think that they were
Probably.
using it to like increase the value of the game. So like that thing in each level makes the game like $20 more valuable.
I mean, even now, that's a metric that I see a lot of people use, and it always kind of like, it's one of those things that like open world and like the amount of hours that a game takes are something that you will
Mm.
see in reviews and see in like people justifying costs. And neither one of those are selling points to me, to be honest.
Yeah. I should have
Yeah,
paid
it was
thou-
when I was a kid, and now I would just
Mm.
rather have a tight, 3 to 8 hour story game
It's for
for
people
the
who
most
have to
part.
justify gaming as a entertainment source still. You know?
Yeah, or just, I don't know, my relationship with money is significantly different as an adult than when I was
Mhm.
12.
That's
I mean,
true.
you're still justifying like at current, I would say like a $60. That's about how much game. Like the newest version of Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, is still $60.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's a Nintendo thing. They just don't.
Yep.
Yeah, the new version of Tropical Freeze, which is just a port of the earlier version, so the game's actually like 6 or 7 years old at this point.
I'm just
Like,
saying,
that's just how Nintendo does
a
it.
new game costs $60.
Yeah, but with any other system, within a year, it costs $20.
True.
It's weird how Pokemon Red still costs $60 on eBay.
Well, those classic games, especially during a pandemic where there's even more of a demand for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I don't know if Nintendo is that cutthroat with their old properties, but I don't know. That's how the market works. Gavin, did you have this game?
So again, I did not. I
Right.
did it much more in the Sage version of this, where like I still remember like the living room that I sat in and played it at. It was my buddy Sean Hiller's house back in San Francisco. But I was also playing mainly on every other weekend would be when I'd potentially see Sean, because that would be in staying with my dad.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, I barely played this game, but I still have like fond memories of like specifically jumping in minecarts and being like, this is insane.
Right.
That feels so good. When you get it
Thinking about
down.
minecarts
Yeah.
for 20 years. Yeah.
But like I definitely did not play really even sequentially. I probably just hopped on my friend's save and he just made me not mess it up, that vibe.
Do you remember how far you made it? Now that you've
That's
replayed
what
it?
I'm saying. Like I have no idea because I
Oh.
wasn't playing through it.
Oh yeah, it
Like,
wasn't your save, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you just remember a little bit of everything.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea there were 2 more worlds after the ice level.
I think
After
there's
the Vulture
3.
Glacier world.
Is there 2? Is it
There's
just
like
2?
2, and then the last one's a little bit longer, and then you've got some very difficult bosses. I want to rewind. I'm gonna put in a little rewind sound. That's my rewind sound.
Gross.
Ew.
I don't like
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
that's
I don't like
disgusting.
that either,
You
and I
gotta-
apologize
you gotta-
to everyone who was wearing headphones, especially.
Ugh.
Because I think it's pretty common knowledge that this is not the first Donkey Kong game, but this is a drastic reinvention.
Mm.
So I wanted to ask Gavin.
That's me.
Does the name Shigeru Miyamoto, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, mean anything to you?
For sake of argument, no.
Well, now I just think you're lying to me.
No, he's arguing with you.
Oh yeah, Campbell.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's a big deal. He is Mario's daddy.
They call him Mario Daddy.
Oh
It was
yeah,
Daddy Kong.
or Jumpman at the time, actually.
They call him Jump Daddy.
Jump Daddy. Yeah, no. So
I'm gonna call him Jump Daddy. For
he he invented the Kong Donkey.
Right, he's Nintendo's Stanley.
Oh,
Essentially,
that's
he's got a hand in it. He was the director of several of the most important Nintendo games, including the original Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, several of the early Mario's, Mario 64, and most importantly, Excite Bike.
Oh, that's exciting.
I mean,
And then he had a hand in everything else as either producer or designer. So while I don't think he directed a Kirby game, he certainly had a hand in it. And this one as well. He did not direct Donkey Kong Country,
Right.
but he was an advisor. I don't know what capacity that is any more than I know how much Stanley actually worked on any of the 80 comics he's
I
associated
can
with.
comment on that if you want to.
Oh, I've
Yes,
been
please.
taking when you were saying Stanley, I was like, is that like the guy who invented pinball or something?
Stanley.
What's his-
Oh, everybody knows
I'm waiting for
Stanley.
you to tell me his last name. Like, come on, man.
Oh, you know
You're acting
Stanley.
like I know.
The late great Stanley.
Stanley. That's good. I like that. That's fun. But no, he was an advisor for Donkey Kong Country, just purely aesthetically. I'm barely certain. I mean, I wasn't there, but from what I've read and knowing about like what his strengths are.
Growing up in the offices of Nintendo of America.
It was very confusing because I don't speak Japanese, but yeah. No, Shigeru Miyamoto is a very big deal. I mean, he
Rightfully so.
single-handedly changed what gaming means in general. You know, I could talk way too long about Nintendo's origins in the United States. I'm just trying not to because it's so much fun for me and so not fun for anybody who's listening.
I mean, I'm down for some
I'm
crib
fascinated.
notes.
Okay,
Let's
all
do
right,
it.
yeah.
So I know Donkey Kong was the name, at least. Kong's pretty self-explanatory. He's King Kong, and that's why Universal sued them at one point.
Yeah, that was cute. Yeah,
But Donkey, apparently, he was trying to find an English word that meant stupid
yeah, stubborn. Yeah,
or stubborn,
yeah.
and he just chose Donkey. I'm gonna guess he didn't speak English at the time.
I mean, that means we were that close to having an ass Kong.
Ass Kong.
Oh my god, that would have been so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so frustrated.
So
What could have
Campbell,
been?
do you know, canonically, for how little that means within Nintendo,
Yeah.
is Jumpman actually Mario?
Yep. Yeah, they just changed
that's
his name.
the same universe?
Yeah.
All right.
Just like Pauline in Donkey Kong in I don't know, what is it, 1981?
Yes.
Whatever that is.
Wait, what? Oh, is
yeah.
that Peach?
It's not Peach. That's Pauline. The girl
Oh,
that
that's
you
the
rescued,
first
the
one.
princess or whatever. I don't know if she's a princess in this game.
She comes back much later.
Yeah, she's in Odyssey.
Smash. Oh, and she's in Odyssey, yeah.
Is she? Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's like a
Isn't she's
trophy or an
she's a
assist or
character in-
something.
Isn't she a character?
Not a playable
No,
one. But,
okay.
Do you have
yeah.
Pauline's amiibo?
Oh my god, does she have one? Well, she's not a Smash character that you can play, so I don't have it.
Okay.
That's it. I had to make that distinction for myself when
Right, 'cause
buying
why
these.
would you? That would be silly.
Well, yeah, no, I'm only buying every Smash one, which means that I have over 70.
Right.
Of course.
I did not. Okay. Well, so
Do you know that that's not Donkey Kong, though?
That is it not Donkey Kong?
So
is Donkey Kong.
No.
Oh, wait a
No,
minute. It's like
in
his
the
grandpa,
canon,
right? Is that what it is?
It's Cranky Kong.
That's right.
whose
The
name
old-
is Donkey Kong? Donkey Kong's a junior.
Oh, that's a good point. No. So there's Donkey Kong, and then there's Donkey Kong Jr., and that's the modern Donkey Kong stat.
So Donkey Kong
So it's
Jr.
Cranky
is
Kong, Donkey
modern
Kong
Donkey
Jr.,
Kong.
Donkey Kong. No, it's the grandpa.
No, but
Then Diddy's the nephew.
what? Okay, wow.
Yeah.
This makes a lot of sense, and I had this on the back
does this
burner in
make
my
sense?
brain because Cranky Kong talks about being in that game.
What?
Yeah,
What?
you ever go to Cranky's cabin?
I usually just speed through it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So he
I don't know why I
says
keep going.
he says oh my god, this is like such a gem. I love it. So if you go to Cranky Kong's cabin, the first thing he does is he gives you game tips. So he says like, oh, if you use the ostrich, you can get here. I bet you didn't know that. And he whaps you on the head with his cane, which is great.
Yeah.
But the other thing that he does is he was basically like a boomer to a millennial now, just saying like when I was a kid, you know,
We kidnapped princesses.
we captured
and made
princesses and
puppets
everything was
jump over
8-bit.
barrels. Everything was 8-bit.
And that's right. And so that's why when the game starts, that must be why it's on the scaffolding. I love that.
that opening to like the soundtrack for even just the opening is so good.
Hmm.
When like the beat drops in and Cranky gets angry, well, Cranky gets cranky, I guess would be. It sounds
Cranky
redundant,
gets
but
donkey.
it's true.
It really was a masterclass in like bringing it up to 1995's or 4's
Right.
standards and
Yeah.
culture and everything. Wow.
So
One
neat.
more.
Because this ain't your granddad's game.
Well, it almost is.
Well.
There's one more
Well,
fun
hold up.
thing that you guys will enjoy about Cranky Kong. So if you go to him and you talk about and you like keep him talking for long enough, one of his lines that he says is I'm frustrated because I can't go inside my cabin because there wasn't enough memory to render it, which is
That's pretty good.
So good.
That's very self-aware.
Yeah.
I wonder. So one thing, and I might be jumping ahead a little bit, but I know that Rare, who made this game for Nintendo, was in Britain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're in Britain, but they're a British.
I mean, yeah, it's an English company. I don't know where
Yeah.
they're actually based at this point because
Yeah.
they've made Battletoads, maybe the hardest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, they made a lot of. They made GoldenEye.
Right.
And
That's
that
after.
came
Yeah,
later.
Rare has
a bunch of
like
other
a
good
really
stuff.
long and incredible history.
Yeah.
But at this point, what I was shocked about is there was another game I played a lot as a kid, and that's Disney's Aladdin. And apparently, this was kind of made to compete with that because that was animated by Disney animators.
Oh.
Do you want to hear something funny?
Yes.
I don't know. I wasn't there again, but I think it was made to compete with that because they made it. The Nintendo had an Aladdin game on the Super Nintendo, and it came out the same year that Sega's Aladdin game came out. But it was.
Is that not the same game?
They were different?
They're completely different games.
Oh, I've only played the SNES one.
Yeah, the SNES one.
I think I've only played the Sega one.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I have no memory of it.
Maybe that should be a different episode, I wonder. But
Where we track down Return of Jafar for SNES.
Oh boy. No, but it's interesting because I have both of them and I played them both, right? Honestly, the Capcom one, which it was made by that's the one on the Super Nintendo, was made by Capcom. It's way better in my opinion.
Interesting.
But it only sold about 1.8 million copies. Compared to I don't remember. I don't know if I have the number, but the Genesis version of Aladdin sold a lot more, and he had a sword. That's probably why it sold more.
Yeah, I mean, because I definitely related it to Prince of Persia in my head, and then also I think Sega had the Lion King game, which I remember playing as well. Because I had a cousin who had
That was also very hard.
Yeah,
not even a Genesis. I don't remember the handheld version of Genesis.
I have one. What's it called?
Game Gear.
The Game Gear. Thank you.
Yeah.
With
Which
a backlight
a really cool
screen.
system.
Took like 12 batteries or something.
Yeah, it took so many batteries and it ate through them. But like you'd plug in just a normal Genesis cartridge, which was really cool.
Wait, what?
That's what I remember, at least.
Oh, maybe this is a different thing. Maybe this is like a PS1, like the ONE or something. That was literally because the Game Gear was a different system. It was Sega's
I
Game
remember
Boy.
it being the same.
There might have been a version that you could just straight up like play Genesis games on. I don't know.
That's my memory, which, again, did not own the system, so I'm ready to be wrong. I feel like Campbell's coming in with the...
I'm
ready to be wrong. Name of this podcast.
You're just blowing my mind right now, because if this is true, this is like a huge deal.
And Campbell will need to get it.
Let's just move forward with me being wrong then,
There might be, I think, there could have been an adapter, or maybe they had, because they had their own.
I just remember Jurassic Park Rampage and Earthworm Jim, the video games.
Well, they ported a lot of games to the Game Gear, but they were a different cartridge. I'm not sure. Maybe there was another console.
That sounds right.
Or something. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. This is just one of those things. It's like semantics that like Nerd Campbell gets very upset about.
I did not mean to upset you.
It's too
sorry.
late.
I've invited you onto this podcast, and here I am just upsetting you.
Yeah, and here you are blasphemizing the Game Gear or something. I don't know. I got nothing.
Great system, but yeah.
So at that point, I think we're actually in the game. Finally.
What is
this game about?
Wait, whoa! And then you have like a 90s transition where I get sucked into the game.
That's right.
Captain
We've last
Ben or
action
whatever.
heroed you into Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interior, treehouse, day.
Yes.
You wake up. All your bananas are gone.
No!
Your grandpa's very upset.
Yeah, that's how you...
That checks out. That is the beginning of the game.
Let's talk about the plot of this game as if it matters.
I'm so upset.
From the Game Gear thing?
Oh, yeah, that too. This is carried over into the plot of Donkey Kong Country, because just like, you can't keep that many bananas. They only save for like a week at best.
Look, Donkey
Well,
Kong is the authoritarian leader of Donkey Kong Island.
You're misunderstanding. That cave is actually refrigerated, and they deep freeze these bananas for later use.
Okay, so it's like
Just sitting on wealth. Yeah.
This cave is like 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Also, let's be fair. There's a lot of Kongs. You only see 2 of them, but there's 3 more in this game, and then every sequel has like 2 or 3 different Kongs.
You
Right.
got a good
They're all
point.
there.
I think of Donkey Kong Island as only having Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, but you've got a really good point. There's a whole community of Kongs on this island.
Cranky. There's Candy. There's how am I forgetting?
There's
Funky.
the Funky Flights. He's
Funky Kong.
my
Yep.
favorite.
They've also just got like animals that do their bidding that might as well be a part of the Kong family.
It's very
You've got
Flintstones.
Winky the
Winky the
frog.
frog.
You've got
It's the only one I remember.
On Garde the swordfish.
Such a good name.
Is that the name?
Yeah.
That's such a good name.
Right? Yeah.
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 Oh,
Ramby
man.
the rhino.
That sounds right to me. I think
It's
that's
not
right.
Dino.
I'm impressed you're remembering all of them. I don't remember the ostrich.
Yeah, he's got a. Oh, it's espresso, I think.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
he runs. That's right.
Yeah, these are just names that have been in my memory for 22 years. No other reason.
I think this game single-handedly gave me the impression that ostriches can fly, at least kind of.
I
Oh my god!
when I was most recently playing, I was actually very confused when I hit the A button and it like flapped, and I was like, "What are you even trying to do? That bird probably weighs as much as like Diddy Kong.
Oh,
What are we
man.
doing?"
Do you know probably the biggest thing that blew me away about this game, playing it again, besides just beating it and just reappreciating it, nostalgia, et cetera,
Mhm.
realizing that Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong have like differences within their gameplay,
I mean, barely, but yeah.
like but any
But more
at
than I
all.
remembered.
Yeah.
I
That's,
thought it was just you could switch between them, and it's kind of like you get a mushroom and you get a bigger Mario, but there's about as many differences. Big Mario can do stuff little Mario can't.
yeah. I was really surprised. Like, there's some enemies that you can jump on and take out as Donkey Kong because he's bigger.
Right.
And he also
Yeah.
has his ground pound thing, which I didn't find out until after I beat the game.
Yeah,
So,
which I
yeah.
used successfully like once.
Yeah.
And I didn't know because I just ended up playing as Diddy the whole time, not really thinking there was a difference, except that Diddy was a little bit faster.
It felt so much
like there
better
were
with Diddy.
enemies I couldn't jump on and kill,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought that was a part of the game until you just said this.
Right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like you don't know.
But I didn't
until
own
you
the magazine
try
that told
it.
me how to play, and there was no internet. So what's a boy to do?
I just noticed because I accidentally jumped on the same one with 2 characters in it, and it worked with the big one. I was like, oh, because he's bigger, right? Okay, sure.
Yeah, you got like the 80s
Yeah.
Kremling that's been doing what's not jazzercising. What's the 80s like health craze?
Oh,
He's wearing like a
Cocaine.
not Pilates.
he's wearing like a unitard though that kind of, just one piece that exposes his full chest.
Are you just thinking of the "Let's Get Physical" video?
I mean, they ported an extra from that music video into this game. He's got a clever name too, because at the end, not only do we get the names of
Winky.
all like the helpful animals in the Kong family, but they introduce
Yeah.
every Kremling to you too. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm not even skipping this. I'm down. Like, tell me.
Kremling being the legion of lizards that work for K. Rool, all the
K.
different
Rool
species that have
being
invaded the island
the invasive,
and stolen all the bananas.
the invasive royalty that has sent his lizard people out to steal the Kong's family treasure.
Is that the
and
story?
that is the plot of the game.
I don't know. I think it's just Kremlins doing jazzercise in these caves, just minding their
This
own
craze
business.
has caught
and then
Kong Island.
yeah, and then these monkeys come in here and massacre all
Mhm.
these all the lizard folk.
Well, that wouldn't make any less sense as a use of the Donkey Kong intellectual property.
Right, because this
As
is being
currently
ported
exists
over
in
just as a
1994.
reminder from a gorilla has stolen a princess and an Italian is jumping up girders and dodging barrels to try and free her.
Is this now an Alex Jones podcast? I think we're in danger.
if you're on Winky long enough, he turns you gay.
Right, because the chemicals in the water.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, they didn't put that in the magazine.
I think that was actually in the manual in the back. If you
Okay. I wasn't allowed to read the back section. It was too risque.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So Campbell, one of the big reasons I was excited to have you on for this episode is from a technical standpoint, I don't truly understand why this game looks the way it does. It doesn't look like anything else at the time. And of course, like a year or two later, everything has moved into 3D. So this is kind of the last hurrah of 2D platforming of this sort. But I mean, are you able to tell me anything
100%.
about?
Yeah, no, I can explain. So yeah, this game, you're totally right. This game looked like absolutely incredible compared to other games on the console and the ones that came before it at the time.
You hear that,
Um,
Sonic?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It looked okay. Well, I don't
Well,
want
it's
to.
not like a rating system. It looks different.
It's very different looking. The style is very different. There's a lot more detail that they have that other games can't typically have. The reason why is because all of the sprites in this game are pre-rendered. I feel like I should unpack some of these things so everybody who doesn't understand these terms can
Let's do it.
be on the same
Glossary
page.
time.
Yeah. So a sprite is basically
It's
just
refreshing
an image.
and lemon lime flavored, right?
Typically. Sometimes they've got some berry flavors, but
Oh.
no. But a sprite in like video game terms is how they used to show basically anything on an old video game because games didn't used to have 3D graphics like they all do now. And so if you understand how animation works, each frame of an animation, you put them all together and make them and change the image fast enough, it looks like it's moving. They're doing that basically, but just with tiny pictures that are only, a few pixels tall by a few pixels wide. That's a sprite. And this is how games had been doing it for, decades.
So, just so I'm understanding correctly, because I thought I knew what this was, and maybe I don't. But a sprite would be like Donkey Kong himself, and then he'd be made up of pixels, so pixels make up a sprite.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the way that the game has it is there's a sprite sheet. If you want to get really technical, that has hundreds or thousands of sprites. That has all of the different frames of animation.
Yeah, when I was talking about later, like how when you beat the game, you basically just see walk cycles of all the critters, which is kind of fun if you
Yeah.
understand animation. You're just seeing like basically the building blocks of the game come by, showing you like the moving pieces that they use to build this world. And it's kind of cool.
It was so delightful. I love how they recycled the animations in the game to make a skit between Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. That was really cool. Because they're not manually making new sprites just for this little thing right at the end of the game. That would be such a waste. Especially since none of the kids are going to beat it.
I feel like I could have beat it now that I understand. Probably would have never beat the last two bosses if I'm being honest, but I think the rest of it with enough repetition, if I had owned it, I would have beaten.
I think I decided as a kid, and I kind of still agree. It wasn't really worth it at the time.
But let's let Sage have his flex though. You
totally could have beat it.
Yeah, I totally
could
have beat it.
Totally
I mean,
if I wanted to.
Actually, no, I believe you could have. I just don't know if it would have been worth it.
Yeah,
that's all. So that's one term that's defined as a sprite, and this game uses sprites still, but it doesn't look like it uses sprites as much, because what they did is they pre-rendered every sprite. So what that means, a render in computer graphics terms, is when a computer takes a picture by calculating what something looks like from one angle, with virtual lights hitting an object and bouncing off that object and into a virtual camera. It's basically just like a pretend lighting studio inside the computer. This was really advanced in '94. That's when it came out, right?
Correct. Still.
They had specialized computers. Like nowadays, all computers can do this. Basically, they're powerful enough. But at the time, this was a really rare, expensive thing. So they had specialized silicon computer, like hardware, basically purpose built to make and render all of these different frames. So that's how this whole game is built. It's made with 3D models that are like textured and rigged and animated so that they have all of the different parts of the game, and then they just took those and they turned them into sprites. So the walk cycle, which is a smooth walk cycle, they just took 30 or about 30 frames total for the run walk slash walk cycle of Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong. And they just separated it into, they sampled different images from each one, rendered it out, and that makes up all the sprites in the whole game.
Yeah, I found this like MTV interview breaking, like where they send like the ultimate 90s bro into Rare to interview different people about the game, and he's like constantly trying to off people bananas, and
Yeah, everyone in
it's
every shot has a banana.
Oh no, these poor
it's
developers.
it's so charming and terrible at the same time. But he does like make one of them show the renderings that they're working off of, and it's the first time that I'd seen those images,
Mm.
and they look great. Like, I mean, not great's maybe not the right word,
Not by
but
today's standards, but
no, but like it's interesting to see because you're still working with the limitations of the Super Nintendo.
right.
So they're taking these like pretty good looking models. I'm assuming they look like your amiibos, and
Not quite as good. Maybe.
de-resing them down to like the sprites that you wind up seeing in the final game. And it kind of is interesting now that like people are doing HD remasters of games, and it looks like what I would assume the HD remaster would look like. So it's kind of interesting that it felt like, and I'm sure this is entirely wrong, feel free to correct me, but it feels like they're starting with like an HD master of the game and having to port it down so it fits on the Super Nintendo. Because
Yeah,
I know
it's kind of like a pre-render, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's rendered ahead of time. Current games render things in real time. So render. The reason I wanted to define these terms is because then we can talk more specifically about things.
Now we can get into it.
Yeah. So modern
can
games
go into the game.
inside. Well, we're already in this game.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So we're
This is the plot of most movies in the 90s.
Yeah, we're all pre-rendered right now. I don't know if you knew.
No.
Yeah, it's really.
I'm staring at what used to be my hands, and all I see is pixels.
Yeah, it's fairly traumatizing, but modern games render what you're seeing on the screen in the same way, but they do it in real time. They render what's happening every 1/60th of a second for like a modern 60 FPS frame per second game. And it's doing all of those calculations that the computers had to do, or will always have to do whenever they render something. And at the time, I bet you it took between like 20 minutes to hours to render one single one of these sprites. So
Gross.
that's why this was such a big deal at the time. Yeah, it's not good. Anybody who's ever worked in CG stuff knows how painful rendering can be.
I mean, that's true in film too.
Yeah, it's similar. And so the same word, I mean, render just means to make, really. So they're doing different things, but yeah, it's not fun having to wait. This technique, after this game, got used all over the place, and you guys have probably seen it. In fact, I know you have before. Probably my favorite example.
No, I've never played another game post Donkey Kong.
I mean, when you reach the peak of Donkey Kong Mountain, what's the point?
Yeah, it's a good thing I never beat it as a kid then.
So you can play other games. but yeah, like Mario Kart 64. If you guys have played that one,
I have. I played that one.
Yeah. Did you notice all the characters are not 3D?
No.
Yeah, it's all pre-rendered. They have model the models, and then they basically just took images of them behind them.
Is that how
Smash
angles works as well? Because I remember zooming in and seeing the polygons, so I don't know if that's
No, that's what the N64 could handle at the time, is it could handle polygons. And so if you guys play this game
are you talking
again,
about Super Mario Kart?
No, sorry, Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
Yeah, so the one on the N64, they use pre-rendered images for all of the players, and that way you can afford to have 8 different unique assets that aren't full 3D models that are needed to calculate how the light's bouncing off of every single plane on these objects. Whereas Super Smash Brothers, they only had 4 characters, and if you compare what they look like, it's way simpler.
Yeah.
If you turn the cart, you might notice it like it's very choppy. It like
I remember there's like you can either be driving straight, left, or right.
yes,
And that's like the
exactly.
two. Yeah. Those are the three like images that you have for your cart. Basically, it feels like.
Right, which is the limitation of using pre-rendered sprites is like
Hmm.
you only have however many renders you made.
Right. And in Donkey Kong, when you're playing it, especially for me, when you're playing as Diddy Kong, his walk cycle seems to be like he's got a longer gait. So if you jump like mid his run, like it just ends the walk cycle. It has that lasted in video games for a long time, but it was a moment in Donkey Kong Country that always kind of sat with me. It was that he's like mid cartwheel and then all of a sudden he's jumping.
Yeah, you know what's funny is, well, there's two things about that. One thing is they knew about that, and
I mean, it's
they,
unavoidable. I couldn't.
well, no, no, not only did they know about it, but they embraced it. So did you ever notice when there
Oh.
was like a banana in a pit? You're like, how the hell am I gonna get that? Because I'll die if I jump in the
Right.
pit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you get it. You
You
roll,
cartwheel off the edge and then you
yeah,
can jump.
and then
Yeah.
you
You
jump.
get
And so
another
you're
jump in the air. Yeah.
defying gravity and physics and reality, but they rarely like knew it and they embraced it. So it's not a bug; it's a feature, which is cool. And another thing that's interesting though is that is I think is a necessary compromise, even in games today. Um,
Yeah. I'd much rather I mean, I wouldn't want them to finish the animation cycle before I jump.
right, right, because you need control because that breaks immersion way more than the animation looking unnatural. Because it's such an interesting thing. Animation for games is so much different and harder than animation for normal things because a
You've
big
got like this chaos factor that is the player.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, with all animation, the reason it looks good, if it looks good, often is because there's so much anticipation in the movements, but you don't get like you don't
Right.
know what they're gonna do, so you have to compromise in some other way.
Well, and that's like those complaints of when I'm playing Uncharted 4 and they cut to a cinematic and it's
Mm.
gorgeous.
Hmm.
Or you like look at, I don't know, I'm thinking like Red Dead Redemption and like it's doing a long conversation and I'm kind of bored, so I'm moving the camera to increasingly ugly, weird like viewpoints because I just have too much control and say over this moment in video gaming.
Right. You shouldn't
Mm.
be able to move the camera within a movie. It'd
Mm.
just be messy.
Yeah, I think that's
And it
an
would replace
interesting.
Gavin's job.
I think that's an interesting
Yeah.
part of the art form that developers have been experimenting with for a while now.
Yeah, and I've seen some very good things where I still do have hold of the camera and cinematics that are boring as shit. Like it's a very fine line. I'm not, and those are both from the same studio, I think. Wait, is that right? No, it's
Not,
Rockstar. Yeah,
oh
never
yeah,
mind.
Naughty Dog's a different one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting that you brought Rockstar though, because they like Grand Theft Auto 5, for instance, is probably my favorite example of animation done really well, but prioritizing the way it looks over the way it feels, because it's not
Hmm.
responsive. I don't know if you guys have like
I-
if you remember that one.
I'm trying to remember which version of this. I remember like the driving feeling pretty good in 4 and
Oh
then
yeah.
feeling weird in 5, I think, when I first started it.
Yeah. Well, even not even just the driving, but the walking. Like
Yeah.
if you are moving the character and you like change direction quickly, the character kind of like saunters over in the other direction. It doesn't like snap, you know?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So aside from the technological innovation in the graphics, what separates Donkey Kong from other platformers at the time, do you think?
I think it was the aesthetics. Um, I mean, because there's plenty of pre-rendered games that were just not good games. Um,
So like the story world or the level design or what are you saying?
all of it, everything coming together to make the game.
It really is just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
That's
there's
kind of
the music is
so
remarkable. The
fucking good.
controls are good.
Yeah.
The level design is interesting and like not unfair enough to where I feel like it's the game's fault. Usually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sage
with
might
the few
disagree, but
exceptions that I said earlier, but other than that, like no, things are hard when they should be hard, and
Yeah.
you just gotta learn.
yeah, it's true.
It's also really surprisingly not that repetitive feeling.
No.
I sped through it like y'all on a replay on my roommate's Switch, continuing to play people's systems that I don't own.
Hey,
Staying on brand.
never changes. That's good.
But yeah, I had fun the entire way through. It didn't feel like a chore, even though I was doing it as research for this podcast.
Do you think that difficulty is the right spot then?
I mean, like you both, I did use the save state thing, and mostly I was trying to use it kind of the way, Sage, you were at like the checkpoints, basically the little barrels with the stars on them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was definitely some of them where I'm just like, I keep missing this moment. I'm gonna freeze right before it and get it right, because I ain't got time.
Yeah, I
for
definitely
this.
did. The bees particularly got me.
Mhm.
What were they? Stingers, something like that. They had a fun name.
Everything does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they told us what they were.
It's crazy playing it again. That's like, it is a hard game at points, but it is not overwhelmingly hard. It does not make me want to not play it.
No, but I straight up like almost have. I mean, I'm gonna
As
use the
opposed
word
to Battletoads.
PTSD very loosely here. And like that game over with them covered in like band-aids is burned into my skull.
Oh yeah.
And like the way that the score also hits with the like put in the real thing there so you don't have to listen to me do that.
The sound design
Absolutely not.
is really good. I mean, even when you're losing, it feels like you have lost like everything.
Yeah,
The
totally.
sound design and score are on point. I want to talk about the music a lot because for some reason in my head I had remembered this as more chiptune-y, and it wasn't until I played just now I'm like, no, that's a score. That's orchestral.
Yeah.
I want to know.
And the levels feel really different, partially because of the design and the color and the worlds, because you jump between like you start out in the forest, you're in like a weird industrial area. There's the ice levels that you guys kept talking about. You're underwater
Fucking
with On Guard.
vultures.
And then all the score, like each of those worlds feels so different, even though they are recycling. Like the only thing they're really recycling to me are the villains, because you do get okay, here's this one guy, here's this other guy. It's the same guy in a different color.
Yeah. There's a couple variants. They're also recycling so many assets within the level.
Oh yeah,
design.
There's really
and
only
the
5 or
backgrounds and
6
stuff.
different levels.
That's expected though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Probably like
Maybe a few more.
probably like
There's only 40 levels in
I
this
was gonna
game,
say
if I
less, but
remember.
I think you're right.
Oh.
5 or 6 sounds good.
I'm just saying, like compared to Super Mario World, it's
Yes.
That's a
the
good
world
point.
feels pretty diverse.
Yeah, it's all Super Mario World for me. I mean, I beat that game too as a kid, which is huge for me. I don't beat any games really. And it's all just a big mush of
Why is that,
mushrooms.
Campbell?
I don't want it to end if I like it. And if I don't like it, I want it to end. You know?
Are you more likely to beat games that you don't like that much?
Maybe, honestly, yeah. Like some of the most like impactful games for me, like The Last of Us. What else? I mean, especially
I'm just
games as a
imagining
kid.
you just like walking out of a theater, like past the
Do you do
director,
this
and
with
they're
movies?
like, "What the fuck? What did I do wrong?" No, I just really love your movie. I don't want it to end.
Yes, that's exactly it. And they're like, but that doesn't track. And I'm like, well, that doesn't. I don't care because this is
And then
my
you get in
brain.
a fist fight, like, and you guys
Yeah.
haven't even actually left the theater yet. So
Yeah.
everyone's
I'm
looking
sorry,
at you.
director. Did you make this for me or for you?
I thought, yeah, like when the credits come up and it says like, oh, composer, director, and you. I love that, but I don't want to see it, so I don't finish the game.
Do you guys have a favorite song from Donkey Kong Country?
Well, I mean, I think we're all gonna have the same one.
I mean, they're all really good. I gotta admit, like, I feel like most people. There's a great Hard Times article about being tasked to do music for Donkey Kong riding a swordfish, and they're like, "Can you just make some some sweet jams for this?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna write something fucking transcendent."
Yeah, I wondered something like that if the composer decides how much
freedom
I
they
know how it
have.
works in movies for the most
Well, you got to
part.
remember, this is the 90s, and Rare's
the
are fucking
90s.
rebels. Um,
Yeah,
Oh
But
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
they don't
you
play
take
by the rules. That's for
the
sure.
chip
they break
tune
them.
of that a lot of other games have at the time, and the composer of this, I don't have my notes in front of me. Dave something,
Dave Wise, I think.
Dave Wise,
David
yes.
Wise, yeah.
He just mostly goes with like big band swing. It fucking works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, it's the opening theme. Like, honestly, the way that this game opens with, I think it's Cranky Kong putting on a record player, and it's got like a swing soundtrack, and then a boombox falls from the sky and shatters the record player, and Donkey Kong just comes in dancing, and you're just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. This is great.
Wait, did you? I could be wrong about this, but I'm fairly certain. I don't know if you caught this. That was transitioning from the original Donkey Kong theme on the arcade cabinet.
Oh, really?
I think it was. If it was, I mean, it was the same. I have it behind me. I could find out right now, but I'm pretty sure because I remember do 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 do.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it so many times. I'm like 90% certain that's the original Donkey Kong arcade cabinet.
It's great.
Theme.
It's so good.
So they're bringing it into the 90s from the 80s, which is brilliant.
I would have to go with I think it's called Aquatic Ambience, which is obviously just, I mean, never a more accurately titled song.
Hard Times had it right. Yeah.
Just the way
I was just going to sing Campbell's things again
for a
because it's hard
monkey
to
riding
remember
a
different songs
swordfish
at once.
underwater creates transcendent piece of music.
Oh my god, that song is helpful to me in my everyday life. Like if I need to just calm down.
I feel like I would put this on to study if I thought about it.
Yeah, instead of like anime beats to chill and relax.
Lo-fi
Nintendo's leaving
study.
money on the table, not releasing like a calm style app with Donkey Kong just guiding meditation for you.
I would love that. And then Donkey Kong just grunting instructions in the background.
Yeah.
Whatever that sound is. Them screeching.
How does this game work as a multiplayer? That's something I'm fascinated with because I feel like later Donkey Kong games kind of upped some of them even have co-op, like you can actually both be playing at the same time.
This one has. Oh, I see what you're saying. Both be controlling something.
Yeah, not like switch off, which I feel was most platformer 2-player games.
Yeah,
or if you're playing Sonic, if you're lucky, you can stay on the same screen as Sonic.
This was definitely the kind of game that I remember like playing. Like if I played it with like my little sister or something, she'd have the attention span for it for like 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, where, you know, she's just kind of there and then she leaves. Is my memory of this kind of game, trying the multiplayer. Or like even Super Mario Galaxy, where one person plays as the hat. It's like, what is, it's just not this, it's not a 2-player game, is the way it feels to me.
Yeah. I mean, it is fun that like your friend fucks up and suddenly it's your turn. I do enjoy that because it also means you're playing the game just waiting for your friend to die.
Well, that's how that's how we played 2-player games in the 90s.
Yeah.
Is we would just sit next to each other, watch each other play, and then when they died, we'd play. But
that's
this
how
is much more instant.
Contra worked. That's
like,
how
built into it.
Like Battletoads and Double Dragon, you could be on screen.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I like that this had like an in-world lore explanation, like for the handoff, and they do that cool high five behind the back.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
I do appreciate that. I got to play it as an adult. I played it with a friend. Massimo was here. You remember, Sage?
I mean, you also played it with me, but sure.
Did we play it together?
Yeah.
Co-op?
No, we played Donkey Kong Country 2 with Trixie, where you could,
for like 20. That's
throw
true.
each other.
Yeah, for a few seconds. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country 2. That's a whole other ball pit of plastic, but yeah, no, it was cool. It was interesting. Massimo my friend lost his attention. He lost his attention pretty quickly. Probably like 4 or 5 stages in, he was like, I don't want to do this anymore, but this is fun.
That sounds right.
Of course, he didn't have to play it for a podcast though, so I guess that's maybe the difference.
Well, I think we might be ready to move beyond Donkey Kong Country and into the future. So if I remember correctly, Rare just got to make a bunch of Donkey Kong games and kept a healthy relationship with Nintendo, and everything was good forever. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. No, I actually, hold on a second. I'm getting a note here from my producer.
We have
Rare.
Brought a producer to our podcast.
I did. Well, no, he's just in my ear. I'm pressing my finger to my ear.
I don't think that's in our budget.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second. Let me just. Yeah, no, they told me you're fired.
Damn it, again?
No, I'm talking to the producer. Sorry.
Oh.
You can do that, right? You can fire your producer. Is that not how that works?
Not in my experience.
So yeah, like what was it? 12 years ago? Was it more than? Sorry, 18 years ago.
Yeah, I just think like Rare has not been a thing for quite some time.
Well, it exists still, but it's owned by Microsoft.
Rare still makes tons of games.
Yeah, Microsoft acquired Rare in 2002. It's also why it's such a huge deal that Banjo-Kazooie was brought into Super Smash Brothers, because
didn't they have to wait on Diddy Kong for a while?
Maybe. Well, what's interesting is even after the acquisition, they still continued to support the franchise for the Game Boy games.
Real quick, because I feel like we didn't actually establish this. You're telling me that Rare stopped working for Nintendo and went and worked for Microsoft?
Well, they were always separate. It was a separate production studio, and they made games for whoever would pay them to, I guess. But yeah,
that is how it works.
But then they were acquired by Microsoft, so Rare is now part of Microsoft, and so now Microsoft owns all of the IPs that Rare had.
And they just stopped working on the Donkey Kong Country games after doing, was it 3? Did they work on the N64?
Oh boy, they did do the N64 one, yeah.
But they also did Conker's Bad Fur Day,
Yeah.
which is probably where some of that bad blood started to happen, because that's obviously not a game Nintendo really wanted, and they actually didn't publish it. It did come out on 64,
Right.
but they had to get a different publisher.
What does that
I would
mean, though?
assume
Because I played the hell out of that on N64.
I think that means someone to actually make the cartridges and distribute.
But this isn't like an Atari thing where Atari was just like, or I mean, I'm thinking of Nintendo more as like the Apple iOS store rather than the.
No, they would license out people to make games for them. Nintendo, besides aesthetically, had not that much control over Donkey Kong Country.
I'm just saying though that if they didn't want the game to come out for N64, they could block it, right?
I mean, probably. I don't know.
So this
that
is
Nintendo official seal of approval thing's tricky. It doesn't really mean anything.
Well, no, it does. It does. The reason that they have the official seal of approval is because on the NES, anybody could. It's a lot like the Atari, like you were saying. Anybody could make a game, which is how we got all the Bible games, which are nuts. They're absolutely insane.
Wait, are there Bible games for the N64?
For the NES.
Oh.
Yeah, you play
is this
as
part of your childhood? Did you grow up with?
No, well, this is part of my teens watching it and learning about it on YouTube and pining over these games as a wannabe collector. But no, you play as Noah and you got to get all the goats onto the ark. It's a trip.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
that sounds great. Well, I'll play that game.
Yeah, right.
You gotta do you have to collect all the animals? Is there going to be like a Noah Pokemon Go at some point?
Yes,
that your
but
mom will play?
But it's just goats for some reason. There's more than 2, and it's just goats.
Pokemon Goat.
So this actually leads to something interesting. Because of that Nintendo seal of approval, they have a chip on the cartridges that only lets them work if there's this security key that only Nintendo makes. And so what's interesting is these Bible games that had to get made. Wanted to make a Bible game for the Super Nintendo, which had the security chip on it, so you need that seal of approval, right? And so the way that they got around it was by having a cartridge port on top, and it would pass through the credentials from whatever game you put on top of it, so that you could play their unlicensed Doom port, which was another Noah's game where you basically go around. Yeah, it's a shooter where you have a what's it called, a slingshot, and you're shooting sedatives at sheep that are trying to attack you.
It's so great.
Yeah, it's
Gavin, we
interesting.
need to track down some of these old Bible games to review them.
Well, I mean, if we get that one, we can just do a whole like Doom spin-off experience because I still want to talk about Chex
Leviticus
Quest.
HD.
Campbell,
yeah,
did you play
Chex
Chex
Quest coming
Quest?
soon.
Like just as a one-off question.
Which one?
Chex Quest.
I don't think I did. No.
Okay, don't worry about it.
No, but the Bible games put a whole new spin on the Genesis as a concept.
The Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, that was the bit. You did it.
So Rare goes on. They do make Donkey Kong Country 2, 3, 64. But by
And then
the time
all the Game Boy games
and
too.
Banjo-Kazooie is also on 64.
Mhm.
And then from there on, everything is Microsoft's.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Is
and GoldenEye.
still
Don't
is it?
forget.
And GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I've always been curious how those copyright things have worked, and most of my influence as an adult has been through Smash,
Right.
because I was wondering like why it took so long to get Diddy Kong and then everyone else, and I think there was actually a rights issue, or I mean, Smash Brothers has been better about working out third-party deals in general. I don't know if K. Rool and
Mhm.
Diddy are a part of that, the way that Sonic and Snake and now it's
Right.
getting really out there with Street Fighter and
I feel like there
games
are
that
also
aren't on Nintendo.
Because did Diddy join in the most recent Smash? Or
No,
was
he joined in Brawl, so that was
Yeah.
Diddy's
2000.
been around for a bit, but even, I mean, Diddy's a big enough character. It's kind of surprising he wasn't in Melee.
I guess so. I mean, you can only have so many characters.
Yeah, it doesn't-
Is
I mean,
what
they
I
fit
used to
Marth
say.
and Roy.
Yeah. Well, no, those are the thing is that once you
Those
have
are faces of a franchise, though.
yeah, and also Nintendo owns them.
No
so-
one had heard of that franchise in America when Melee came out.
Which is what's so amazing about Super Smash Brothers. They did the same thing with the N64 game. Nobody had heard of NES from
Mhm.
Earthbound.
Right. Or Pit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
those are games that existed, but
yeah, we knew Kid Icarus, maybe.
I mean, my litmus test for these questions are pretty much if Campbell is familiar with these characters.
Okay. So you were asking about Rare. Something interesting about that is they had Microsoft had the rights. They owned all of this, so they tried to capitalize on that and use it. But what's so frustrating for all of the fans is that they so poorly mismanaged all of these IPs. They tried to come out with Banjo. So there's Banjo-Kazooie, which is one of the greatest games of all time, according to
great.
a lot of people. And then they had Banjo-Tooie, which is a great name. They were scheduled to come out with Banjo 3E, but then they got acquired, and so it has been like delayed and held off ever since.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, is there still a possibility of another Banjo-Kazooie coming out at some
I
point?
mean, I
More
doubt
importantly, does that mean that we get a Conker's Worst for a day?
Wasn't there a Conker
honestly,
sequel?
very possibly. If somehow the rights get transferred to someone else, I don't think Microsoft is gonna put their neck out for that, especially not in 2020.
I mean, THQ, who I looked it up, is the distributor of that. They might have the rights now. I don't know.
Okay,
Or they might
maybe.
be involved or willing to
Yeah, I'm
produce that.
curious.
Yeah, that's
That was,
fascinating.
I think, Conker's worst for a day or whatever you want to call it would sell well probably, but yeah, no, they basically Microsoft came out with a bunch of really and when I say a bunch, I mean two really awful Banjo-Kazooie games that were just
Huh.
sad, just sort of development failures. Makes everybody really sad because everybody really, really loves these characters in these games, which is why, I mean, people cried when Banjo-Kazooie came into Smash because it's the first time that he came back home to a Nintendo console in, like, what was it, 10 years? 20 years?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it was a very emotional moment for some gamers.
I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't played that series now.
Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't
pretty
really
great.
played it.
It's like a better version of Donkey Kong 64.
Also, both of these were games that I just read about in Nintendo Power and never played.
So the weird thing, I watched a video about Donkey Kong 64 earlier today, and what I totally forgot is that's it takes a Metroidvania approach, which those are those style of backtracking side scrollers
Yeah.
named after obviously Castlevania and Metroid,
Mhm.
where you'll have to just go back through all the shit you just did, and it's mildly frustrating on the 2D games. It doesn't take that much time. When you're going through a 3D world and have to go through load screens and everything, I remember that breaking Donkey
That
Kong
sounds
64.
terrible.
I
Yeah.
think it's just more in the level design. Like you can have backtracking be really fun and enjoyable if
Yeah, but a lot of
you.
the Zeldas have done it very well.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
sound
that's right.
terrible.
Well,
Well, I think a lot of it's like how long does it take?
yeah, yeah. So if you have ways to work around, or warp to different areas so that you don't have to redo a lot of the
Yeah.
things, where like the value the first time you're doing them is the exploration and discovery. Once you've done
Yeah.
that, the value in that is gone. And so if you just sort of nip out any of that, or if you give new value and new discovery, so show the same place from a different perspective or add
Mhm.
different things happening,
I
then
will
it's
I will
fun.
admit that Super Mario 64 does, like, collecting stars is super fun. And it, like, that is something that I feel like I hate in almost every other game. Uh Even the idea of it, like, doesn't makes me not want to watch Dragon Ball Z because they're just out there collecting balls. It sounds awful.
Yeah.
Somehow, like, Super Mario 64 and Pokemon get a pass. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. So,
It's
Gavin,
good
I think
examples.
we're pretty much at the time where we can run our final judgments.
Mhm.
Would you like to remind? I mean, I know what our rating systems are, but if you want to tell Campbell,
Oh yeah. Is it bananas? It's
Yes, it is banana based. Um,
is Donkey Kong still bananas?
is it
Better as bananas.
was it appealing, but is it better as a banana?
well,
Appealing.
I've got a really interesting
Or
before
is
we
it rotten, covered in bruises? Should you take it out and throw it in the compost?
right. What stage of like is it? It's too fresh, just right. It's banana bread, and it's nobody's eating this.
I hate bananas, but let's move on to judgments.
Finding a
Um,
new co-host. Campbell.
um,
I think it's.
No, I meant, do you want to host this show with me?
Oh yeah,
mhm,
let's do it.
mhm,
Sure,
mhm,
man. Well, hold on. Before we come to a final conclusion on the game, I've got one last thing that I know Sage
Okay.
will really like.
See, I like how we were just because the one thing we didn't talk about was King K. Rool's fake ending, where you've beaten him and then the
Oh,
credits
yeah.
start
Oh
rolling,
man,
and
we do need to talk about that.
Okay,
and
let's do
it
it.
says like, yeah, I
That's
don't
my
know.
bad.
This was our fake ending, fake out. We're back. I'm sorry.
We did it.
You thought King K. Rool was
Kremlins
down
did
for the
this
count,
one.
but he's back up and he's killed you, and you have to start the whole level all over again.
We
It
pulled
was
the
all a
K
bit.
roll.
It was all planned.
Campbell, as you were saying, I'm
Just
sorry.
gotcha. No, yeah, no, that was.
Got to go through the whole
Also,
podcast again to
on
get to
that
final judgments.
on that note, yeah, on that note, starting from the beginning of the podcast,
Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
bum, 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 bum. How did you feel about the fake credits?
Oh, I loved them.
Wasn't that great? Can
I
I give you a
actually,
hint?
I straight up like looked away from the game. I put the controller down and I looked up and I had lost a life. And I was
Oh,
like, "What
they
the
got
fuck?"
you.
They got you.
Yeah.
You can just go
No, they
back.
totally got me. I was so surprised. It was like I'm not even mad. Like,
That was good. Well, what's fun too is the fake credits are like spelled with a K.
yeah, they're all with a K.
And they have like the what was it, like the creative team was
Right, with the K.
was this Kremlin. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
man. That was good. But
It was
yeah,
beautiful.
something I wanted to bring up talking about the future of games is how this impacted games as a whole, how this game and games like it impacted games as a whole. Because I mean, you guys have probably played a game like this, an indie game or something similar in the last 10 years that has been very heavily stylized towards games of this era. These pixel games they have a huge resurgence, and because
Yeah.
of that, this is happening again. The graphics, the pre-rendering concept, has happened again. So do you remember Dead Cells?
I've heard of it.
Hell yes. He's
Yeah,
heard of it from
I
me
know.
because I play that game
Yes,
all the
it's
goddamn
a
time.
very good game. Very good game. What's interesting about Dead Cells is it's all pixelized, right? But it's an indie game made with a very small team. I think they had one artist, maybe two. So Thomas Vasseur, I'm probably saying that wrong. He helped them develop this pipeline where they take 3D models of a character, and then they animate them and they rig them and animate them in 3D, and then they render them just at a really low resolution. and then that gives him the pixel art. And so this way, he doesn't have to draw, because it's the standard way of making sprites is manually going on the computer and drawing all the art. He doesn't have to draw thousands and thousands of sprites, because not only is he doing this, but also this game runs at 60 frames per second. So that's an insane number. Like, even just running there's the run cycle, that's got to be 120 sprites. It's insane. And they brought it into the next generation too, because something Sage has noticed, and I'll recommend anybody who checks this out. One of the most amazing things about Dead Cells visually is it has lighting that changes, which you can't do with sprites.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. So what they did is they took the 3D model and they took advantage of the fact that it has shape that like light could hit, and they make what's called a normal map, that basically maps which direction the face is based on the color that it's giving off. And using this normal map, they can have real-time realistic lighting change on a character without having to generate millions of sprites for every possible orientation of the light. So it's just super cool that, like, all of these methods and
are really making a comeback.
Yeah, just because of the passion for this style.
I will say, because there's like games like Shovel Knight, which I've heard really great things about, and there's also like a kind of cleaner version of it with like Hollow Knight, all those night-based games, you know?
Yeah.
There's
a lot of them. Celeste is another great platformer that's got that pixelized style.
Braid was one that I remember playing some too, with like very innovative, because with these very simple games that are just, even if you aren't growing up with Donkey Kong Country, it's now just an understood, like the platformer language is built in.
That's true.
Which, like, I wanted to say, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is
still a great game.
It's beautiful too, just like the art direction and the worlds that they're really focusing on, which goes back to this game. Which, to get us back to the rating system, I'm going to go ahead and say this game is still bananas. And but in this case, pretend I like bananas. And this is a really good game. And a lot of that is just how beautiful it looks. It handles really well. And then the soundtrack that this entire series has is just so good.
Oh, yeah. This game is big plantains.
Big plantains. Yeah, I'd say it's 10 like red bananas out of
that makes no sense on
10
our
yellow
scale.
Bananas. No, and it does.
Why are you forcing a different scale into this podcast? We have rules. Damn it.
This is 12 red balloons out of 5 packages of bananas.
Wait a minute. When you guys rated gargoyles, you rated them like with bananas?
That is neither here nor there.
What are you guys doing using bananas for everything? Okay, so
Campbell, you're fired. Gavin, you're hired again.
I have a reason, though. I have a reason, because this game defines so much of what we know as like platformers and graphics, and
this game
like,
brought
aesthetics.
Bananas to America.
It did. It brought. So in that, I think it defines a new genre of banana. And that's where I'm. That's how I.
Okay.
Redefined the banana.
I'm just gonna go ahead and reiterate for the audience. I think you still think this game's good.
Oh heck yeah! Oh yeah! Nostalgia Gloss is on or off. It's worth playing.
Great, just checking.
All right.
Especially if you can...
Universal still good stamp. That's the stamp sound.
Especially if you can cheat.
Yeah, the freeze stage didn't hurt.
That does help. It is. I would say it is maybe better now that you can play it. You know, you can also play it while laying down on the couch in a way that kind of hurts your neck after a while, hypothetically.
Or even just go on YouTube and look up Donkey Kong Country water theme. And just zone
just
out.
Putting on the Donkey Kong Country OST
right
in the background, I definitely highly recommend.
I'll be doing that right now. After a section I'm very excited about, reboot time.
We're reviving a canceled undercover police program from the 80s.
Oh, it's not a remake, it's a reboot.
You see, the guys in charge of this stuff lack creativity.
What the fuck is a reboot?
So all they do now is recycle shit from the past.
We're working on less of a shriekle and more of a screamake.
Expect us all not to notice.
I like it. Another!
Now, when I say reboot, I'm not necessarily interested in talking about making more games out of it.
I think this came back as Donkey Kong Country 2.
They did that.
Yeah, they did reboot this.
And 3.
So
And
There's not a
and
lot
3,
to talk about within making it.
They went all the way
Yeah.
up to Donkey Kong 64.
They made there
63,
were 63 other
62.
Donkey Kongs.
It was a
How
lot.
did
I
I
was
sleep
really
on that
sick
joke?
of them.
Oh man, I should have made that joke an hour ago. I'm so mad at myself.
They had a lot of
But-
Marios that they're missing too, actually.
I would like to hear some terrible pitches to make this into a movie. I don't want this to be a movie.
Well, I mean, this was already a TV show, which I vaguely
Really?
remember from like the time when because again, I didn't have cable growing up, which we've stated in this rules of this in the backlog of this podcast. But that meant that I'd like
It's canon.
catch bits and pieces of what was on television at other people's houses, and they would live in infamy as usually just great television that I was missing. Like, I loved the idea of the Mega Man television show. Seemed amazing to me. I really, really wanted to watch that. Sonic also had a TV show that I know has spawned a very weird corner of the internet.
Oh, there's a few. There's a few shows actually, but yeah.
Yeah, there was
few
Super Mario
corners.
Bros. Fun Time or whatever. Was
Oh
a
no,
TV
I just mean Sonic. Like Sonic has
Oh.
like a lot of shows, and they
At
all
least 5 corners of the internet.
Mm.
But so Donkey Kong was also in this era where, again, like these TVs could turn out like these 3D models of Donkey Kong when then they would derez and make into a game, and it would look pretty good for the time. But I remember seeing bits and pieces of the TV show, which was early 3D CGI, and even at the time, it was
Like
just like
Beast Wars or what?
yes,
style?
yes, like that. It was pretty nightmarish looking in a way that like, and it was written for kids. Like it's some very dumb, very silly stuff. But like, you kind of can't take your eyes off it.
Oh my god.
Did you just look up
So just the thumbnail was playing, and no, I'm okay. Well, I didn't really need to sleep tonight, so I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be all right.
So is your
My
pitch
God.
bringing back the Donkey Kong TV show?
Yeah,
and
I'm
make
saying
Campbell
like
watch it
why
with one
why
of
mess
those
with something that's
Clockwork
perfect?
Orange goggles?
10
Oh.
out of 10 banana Kongs or whatever
Oh,
we're
they're-
bringing back.
Their mouth, Gavin, their mouth.
Yeah, it's got you can tell that Smash took a lot of notes from that series when they ported Donkey Kong over. They just really
The way
got it right the first time.
Oh, when they go from an E sound in the mouth to an oo sound, the mouth is so wide. Just the distance, the sheer mileage that it has to travel for the edge of the mouth to make an oo sound. Okay. I can't
Yeah,
do
no,
it. I can't do it.
my pitch for a movie would be that you have like a series of historical footage of Donkey Kong Island seceding from the Kremlin Empire, and this is the youngest, the new King K. Rool's taken over for his father,
Right.
much like Donkey Kong is now kind of. Unfortunately, this is still like very monarchy based for both of these systems. You know, really along bloodlines. But the young King K. Rool is coming over to try and reacquire Kong Island to be part of the Kremlin Empire, and this is Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and Trixie Kong.
Those are both
Candy.
Kongs, I think.
These are both Kongs, yeah.
There's too many of them, but yeah, they're making their big stand, and yeah.
So you're basically making like a Game of Thrones.
yeah,
with the
that would be my hope. Yes,
Kong of
a
Thrones.
game of Kongs. Yeah.
Kong of bananas. And instead of swords, it's just
Every time we
bananas.
replace a word, it makes less and less sense. So,
No, I think it's still trash.
okay. But yeah, that's mine. Kong of Thrones.
Oh my god!
All right, Kong of Thrones.
A song of
Kong-
a song of Ingardes and Rambies. Yeah.
Yes, Throne of Donkeys.
How would mine start? It would be a black screen, and then it would just say "war" with an exclamation mark. after
Okay,
this.
right. I'm with you.
War and pestilence
like
have
newsreel
ravaged the
footages?
land. Warlords have taken over Kong Island and every other place in the Donkey Kong universe. And Diddy Kong's been dead for years. Donkey Kong,
Uh-huh.
he's just tired. He's retired from the hero game, and he just wants to be left alone in his treehouse and eat his bananas. But the precocious girl Kong next door, we'll say it's Trixie. We'll recast Trixie as a younger generation. They strike up a friendship, begrudging as she helps around the house because Kong can't really climb down and back up the treehouse, so he needs someone to bring her food.
Right.
Until a gang of Kremlings kill her.
Huh?
And
Is this
from
like a
there on,
Sopranos?
it's Logan, it's Gran Torino, it's Rambo Rambi
So
Last Blood is what
you're
I'll call it.
putting out
Rambi Last
Clint
Blood.
Eastwood's Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's what my pick is. Old Man Kong.
Oh
And
God,
you
I
just-
really like that.
I like that you
Mhm.
fridged both Diddy and Trixie in like 2 sentences.
Well, Diddy was pre-fridged. Like Diddy's just been dead for years.
Mhm.
It's what
No,
was it's a
we-
Frank
we-
Miller.
we
It's
op-
Frank
we
Miller's Old
open-
Man Kong.
You open on like the photo of Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong hanging out together, and then a big like muscular hand comes down and lowers it.
Yeah, so that's my movie.
I like that.
Okay.
I
got-
would watch Logan, except just replace all the characters with Donkey Kong characters.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh man, and then like the X-22, the young Logan is just the like a younger Cranky Kong, the original Donkey Kong. I know
Yes!
that's a hard timeline, but
Okay, no, that works. That tracks for me. I like that. Okay, so do you want to hear my pitch? I've got one.
yes.
It's a Love Island, but like Banana Love Island, and it's like a reality bachelorette show, where Donkey Kong is trying to just find love in this crazy world, and I think it would be good having all the contestants, except none of the other contestants are any of the other cast. The other contestants are
Mhm.
just real people.
Yeah, I assumed they weren't
Just
gorillas or
act-
monkeys or whatever.
No,
Is Donkey Kong a gorilla or a monkey?
yes,
Are gorillas monkeys? I forget.
he's
He's
a
a-
I don't think
Kong.
they are, right?
I don't think he's either. Actually,
He's just the missing link.
he is a donkey.
Yes, that's
he is a
right.
Donkey Kong. Okay, now I'm gonna Google something that
It's 30% donkey, 30% Kong,
right.
all something.
I've
Honestly, all these pitches are better than I thought they were gonna be. So I'm
I've
pretty happy. Good segment. It stays. Stamp sound.
I
Still
have-
good.
I have never before Googled what is Donkey Kong, and it's not helpful. Like the answers are not useful at all. But
Mhm.
I'm really traumatized by that existential concept.
Well,
So thank you for that. Oh wait, no, here it is. Fictional gorilla character. Sorry, never mind.
okay.
Okay, that was not helpful. No
You
stamp.
got the answers
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, less
Thank
entertaining,
you for
but
being
more
on this
helpful.
informative podcast.
This is where you Google things and we just read Wikipedia.
That's what we're going for.
All right, so to recap, game's still good. Rare's still
Kong's
making
still a gorilla.
I'm still a gorilla. Rare's still making games. Go play Rayman.
My bananas are spoiling.
Well, I guess I've been Gavin.
I continue to be Sage, and you can find us at stillgoodpod on various medias. You can write into stillgoodpod@gmail.com to tell us why we are correct about all our Donkey Kong Country opinions. Campbell, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on my website. That's artstation.com
Are you
I'm typing
currently
things I've
typing
forgotten
it
it.
into
Yeah, I've
Mixer?
definitely
Okay.
forgotten it. /Cramble or cramble.artstation.com. That's where you can find some of my 3D work. And
As
you
long
can
as your
also,
SEO is good, if they miss a letter or two, it'll work out.
yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I got a weird sounding everything. I did such a bad job with my marketing. But I've also got an Instagram, and that's @Cramblist, because Cramble was already taken.
Oh,
And so I'm the Cramblist. That's
by default.
Yes, of course, yeah. @CRAMBLEST. So that's me.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for going on this journey with us to Kong Island.
Thank you for bringing me. It has been a lot of fun. A lot of excruciating, mind-blowing, nostalgic fun. So
A lot of Sprite talk.
yeah, it's a soda too, like Evan mentioned.
Yeah.
It's
Which definitely sponsored this episode and
wow.
owe us money.
Wait.
here's our Sprite commercial.
Where
that goes
is-
out the credits?
Do I get Sprite money?
Probably. We probably owe Nintendo for all the times we've said it.
If they, you know what, if they had any say in it, the way that they work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we
exactly how
literally
this would
plugged
work.
the Switch Online system, and part of me was like, shit, we're gonna have to pay them money.
for
free
advertising their.
advertising.
Yeah, that's how that works.
And they owe the copyrights to all of our great Kong ideas.
Oh
They
no.
They have better lawyers. All right. Well, thank you for coming with us, and you're coming back for Donkey Kong's 2 through 63, correct?
Yeah, accurate.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
Well,
not
we'll
looking
see you
forward
then.
to it, but yeah, all right.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us again on Is This Still Good? You can find us at StillGoodPod on Instagram, or send us a formal complaint to stillgoodpod@gmail.com. We love hearing from you.
Please give us a like or review wherever fine pods are casted. It helps us trick those algorithms.
You can find me across platforms at Hold for Playing.
And I'm at Gavin V. Murray. Join us next time, whenever that may be. Bye.